So today we're going to be talking about Investopreneurs. What is an Investorpreneur? Obviously, you've done some yourself.
Yeah, so Investorpreneur is where you are an entrepreneur that invests in various businesses. So as an Investorpreneur myself, I'm looking as an angel investor to invest in different, could be startups, SaaS products, or established businesses. If I'm being honest with you, I do prefer going into established businesses, and I can then come in and bring my skills of sales and marketing to that business that might be being brilliantly run operationally, and I feel I could then spur and take that business on to another level.
So a couple questions for you. When you are looking at investing into a business, what are some key traits? Like, are you looking at their weaknesses? Are you looking at how much you're spending on certain services?
Yeah, so there's various reasons of why I would want to invest in other companies. So one of them being, I look at my profit and loss sheet. I'm looking at what I'm spending money on. I'm spending money with that agency or with that service because generally my team feel that that is the best value service that's out there. So they obviously feel it's the best service that there is. But if I can invest into that company or service, one, I can bring my prices down because now I'm a shareholder within that company. But two, the biggest one is I can look at quality control and look to improve the quality, and my other businesses are going to benefit from that. But obviously, if I can improve the quality of it and bring in sales and marketing to that business as well, I'm then going to see growth from there. So it depends on whether I buy a business outright or whether I'm buying a business at 30%, 40% or 50%. Generally speaking, it could vary depending on what the business is.
Right, okay. And then are you looking to buy the entire business, or is it a portion? Is it 25%, 40%?
So that does completely depend. Generally speaking, in the UK, I want over 26.8%. So that is means I've got significant say in the business. So generally speaking, I'm normally looking at 30, 40%.
Right.
The reason why I do that is because I still want the existing owner and the existing team still having enough meat on the bone to be enthusiastic to still run the business. Sometimes I do acquire outright. If you're rolling up assets and doing like a bolt-on acquisition method and you're looking to float it or put it as being a PLC, you then might look to acquire 8 or 9 different businesses, put them in together underneath one umbrella and then float it. That's a different model to what I'm normally doing. I'm normally looking at, as an angel investor, 30, 40%, keep the existing team in. They are brilliant at what they do operationally, and hopefully I can come and bring in the sales and marketing.
Right, okay, that makes sense. And then the last question as well is, obviously you're going in to purchase a company. How do you make sure that the previous owner is like happy with the percentages? Is it kind of like a, look, these are the skills that I'm bringing in, I'm potentially bringing you mentorship, and we're going to be able to like predict these numbers in 2 years' time? Yeah,
so like if you keep the existing owner in, they still need to be enthusiastic to want to take this business on to another level. So you need to agree a number, but then you bring in more than just money. Yep. So you bring in money, you bring in mentorship, you bring in strategic advice. So if I came to you and said, look, I want to acquire 30% of CasualDash.com and the brand and the masterminders and all your other brands and what you have, I want to come and acquire 30% of that. You might put a figure on it, and we need to agree the number. So once we've agreed the number, for you, the way I'm selling it is, look, you at present you own 100% of this, but it's quite a small pie. If I can quadruple the size of it, and you are 5x the size of it, and yes, I'm acquiring 30% of it, you still own 70%, you're still majority shareholder. If I 5x the size of that business, that when you was owning 100%, even though you only own 70%, now it's 5 times bigger. That's 350% if you 5x the 70%. So you're getting a 3.5 times growth on from your 100%. Plus you're getting somebody now that you might want to reinvest into other products, other services, other businesses to obviously grow yourself.
Yeah, and we could probably do a separate video on this, but very briefly, how are you getting some of these inquiries? Because obviously, like, we've done a few like together, and obviously you've been doing this for way longer. But how are you getting these inquiries? Is it inbound? Are you reaching out to businesses?
I like reaching out. So these people don't understand the value of what I can bring to them. And normally I just pose the question, I plant the seed and say to them, I'd love to be a partner in that business. And then what normally starts to happen is a month later, they come back and go, do you know what you said? You'd love to be part of our business. We'd love you to be part of our business.
Right.
And then it just kind of blossoms from there. That's how I do it, because then I can strategically decide what companies that I want to be involved with.
But you're not going and randomly knocking on a dentist, for example.
No.
So how have you acquired that relationship to begin with, to even just say, oh, I'd love to be part of your business?
So we normally start out with lead generation.
Right. Okay.
So we are involved with over 650 different businesses at present for lead generation. We help grow their business. They see the value of what we bring. I see how well operationally they run. Some of them aren't run very well, but obviously I don't want to invest in those companies. But the businesses that do run well and can scale up further, and I can improve their net profit margin. So it's not just always about improving revenue. Yep. If I can improve their lifetime value, average transactional value, and net profit margin, I'm like, okay, I want part of this business. So I'll plant the seed, and if they're not interested, then it doesn't kind of materialise from there. If they are interested, they normally come back and start saying, how does this look? Like, what do you want out of us? What do you expect from us in return? So we can just start asking those questions, and if we're miles off on the valuation of what we both think it's worth, we don't bother with it. But we have strategic talks pretty much daily now with different businesses that we think, actually, this could work really, really well. And as an investorpreneur, I'm trying to sell myself to them that I'm not just an investor that's coming and bringing money. Like I said, I'm an entrepreneur that's bringing in mentorship, my team, my sales team, marketing advice. They can save money in other areas that they might be overspending at present with regards to magazines, TV ads, radio ads, SEO, PPC. I might be able to help them save money in those areas, as well as bring in more inquiries, make them oversubscribed. Because generally speaking, if a business has got too many inquiries, that means they can learn to say no, which is a brilliant trait to have. Stop saying yes to every customer. Not every single customer is good for your business. So you can learn to say no to the ones that almost like the Pareto law rule, the 80-20 rule. Get rid of the worst 20% of your clients that are causing you 80% of the hassle. So you can get rid of that, give yourself some headroom then to basically turn around and then progress, bringing in the right type of clients, upping your price slightly, which then means your profit margin's going obviously through the roof.
So yeah, very, very detailed answer, by the way. But that has been our video on Investorpreneurship. If you guys do have any other questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. I feel like both of us are very well experienced in that area, so we will actually reply to any questions. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching.